How to speak smart. Master the psychology of powerful speech. Beloved souls, words are not mere sounds that pass through the lips. Words are forces. They carry power, vibration, and energy that move unseen currents in the universe. The moment you speak, you send forth an army of invisible messengers that shape conditions, stir minds, and prepare the way for your destiny. To speak smart is not to speak with pride, arrogance, or empty charm. It is to speak with clarity, with faith, and with the unshakable knowing that your words carry weight and authority. Many lose opportunities not because they lack knowledge, but because they have never mastered the psychology of powerful speech. Today, I will give you 10 divine steps. If you take them into your heart and practice them, your words will carry the magnetism of success, the sweetness of harmony, and the strength to command mountains move. Let us begin. Recognize that words are seeds. Beloved souls, listen closely. Every word you speak is a seed, and every seed must grow. Some seeds spring up as towering trees of blessing, while others sprout as weeds that choke the garden of your life. What is the difference? It is the intention and energy behind the words spoken. The universe does not judge. It does not sift through your words to decide which ones it should honor and which it should ignore. No, it responds faithfully to all words spoken with emotion and belief. That is why careless speech has ruined more lives than lack of talent, and wise speech has elevated the ordinary into kings and queens. Think for a moment, how many times have you declared, "I am tired, I am unlucky, nothing works for me"? Each of those words is a seed planted in the soil of the subconscious, and like obedient servants, those words set out to prove themselves true. Life mirrors your declarations. If you speak of weakness, weakness follows you. If you speak of limitation, limitation binds you. Now let us rise higher. Begin today to treat every word as a seed of power. Say instead, "I am full of life. I am guided. All things work together for my good." These words, when spoken with conviction, grow into experiences that match their nature. They plant gardens of opportunity, fields of abundance, orchards of divine favor. A wise gardener does not scatter seeds carelessly. He studies the soil, chooses the season, and plants with intention. You must do the same with your speech. Speak consciously, for your words are planting tomorrow's harvest. The careless person says, "It's only a joke, I didn't mean it." But the soil does not ask whether you meant it or not. The subconscious is literal. It receives all words as commands. It knows no humor. It does not separate idle chatter from decrees of destiny. That is why it is written, "By your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned." Let us understand this law deeply. Imagine a king seated upon a throne. Every command that leaves his lips is carried out by his servants, without question, without delay. Your mind is that royal court. Your words are the decrees of a king. When you say, "I can never succeed," servants of failure rush to prepare your environment. But when you say, "I am destined for greatness, and doors open before me," then angels of opportunity run ahead to make your path clear. So I ask you today, what kind of seeds are you planting? For you cannot harvest roses from thorns, nor reap abundance from seeds of fear. If your harvest displeases you, do not curse the ground, change the seed. Speak differently, and you will live differently. Let us practice this together. Declare after me. My words are seeds of life. I plant wisely and reap abundantly. Every word I speak builds my future with strength and beauty. I choose words of faith, power, and blessing, for they shape my destiny. When you repeat such words with faith, you shift the very soil of your mind. Old weeds begin to wither, and new gardens of possibility take root. Now some will ask, "But how long will it take for my words to manifest?" My answer is this: do not dig up the seed to check its growth. Trust the process. The farmer does not plant today and reap tomorrow. He waters, he nurtures, he waits in faith. In due season, the harvest appears. So it is with your words. Speak them, nurture them with belief, and guard them from the weeds of doubt. You must also watch the company you keep, for others may scatter seeds of fear into your soil. If they speak lack, do not repeat it. If they speak sickness, do not affirm it. Let their seeds fall on barren ground. Choose instead to echo words of life. You are not responsible for the weeds others plant. You are responsible only for the harvest you allow. Let us go deeper. Words are not only spoken aloud. Thoughts too are silent words. Seeds planted in the inner garden. Watch your inner speech. What are you saying when no one is listening? Do you rehearse failure? Do you repeat the story of lack? The harvest will not fail to come. But if you change your inner dialogue, if you say within, I am blessed, I am chosen, I am powerful, I am guided, your outer world must follow suit. Children understand this law naturally. A child will declare, I am a superhero, I am invincible. And in that moment, the child feels powerful. Why? Because there is no separation between the word and the belief. The child plants seeds without doubt, and the imagination waters them instantly. But adults often plant seeds and then trample them with unbelief. They say, I am prospered, and then quickly add, but I don't see how. Beloved, faith is the water of the seed. Without faith, the soil remains dry. With faith, the harvest is inevitable. Therefore, let every word you speak today be conscious, deliberate, alive with faith. Before you open your mouth, ask yourself, do I want this to grow in my life? If yes, speak it boldly. If no, remain silent, for silence is better than planting weeds. And let us remember, the seed does not only serve you, it serves others. Words spoken over loved ones, friends, even strangers, plant seeds in their garden as well. Speak blessing into every ear you encounter. Tell the weary, you are strong. Tell the doubter, you are capable. Tell the fearful, you are protected. And watch as the gardens of many lives begin to bloom because of the seeds you have sown. This is the psychology of powerful speech, knowing that every word matters, every phrase carries weight, every utterance is creative power in motion. You cannot afford idle words, for they are never idle, they are seeds. So today, walk as a master gardener. Let your words be roses, not thorns. Let them be bread, not stones. Let them be rivers of life, not deserts of despair. For as surely as night follows day, the seeds you plant with your words will shape the destiny you live tomorrow.
Speak with inner authority. Beloved, listen carefully. Authority in speech is not born from the tongue, but from the spirit behind it. A weak man may speak loudly, but his words tremble with doubt. A strong man may whisper, yet the whole room leans forward to hear him. Why? Because true power is not in the volume of sound, but in the certainty of spirit. To speak with authority is to know within yourself that what you say is true, and because it is true, it cannot fail. It is not arrogance, nor is it pride. It is alignment with divine law. When your words match the power of your belief, your voice carries a weight that cannot be ignored. Think of the sun. The sun does not argue with the night. It does not shout. It does not explain itself. It simply rises, and darkness flees. That is authority. When you speak with inner authority, you do not beg for others to believe you, nor do you fear their doubt. You simply declare, and conditions shift. Now let me tell you, the world listens to confidence, not to uncertainty. The undecided voice repels, but the steady voice attracts. People are magnetized not by how much you know, but by how much you believe in what you know. Confidence is contagious. When you speak with authority, you awaken the hidden authority in others. But where does this authority come from? It is not learned in books, nor purchased with wealth. Authority comes from alignment. When your heart, mind, and words move as one. When you believe a thing deeply, feel it strongly, and speak it boldly, you release a power that no resistance can stand against. Let us understand with examples. Imagine two speakers before a crowd. One reads notes nervously, doubting whether his words matter. He says, "I think. Perhaps. Maybe this is true." The audience grows restless, for uncertainty cannot inspire. Then comes another speaker. She stands tall, her voice steady. She says, "I know. This is truth. This is law." And the crowd leans in. Her words strike the soul like lightning. Why? Because she speaks with authority. Authority is not loudness. It is certainty. You may whisper a single sentence with unshakable faith, and it will do more than an hour of empty shouting. Beloved, your inner authority is strengthened when you remember that you are backed by the divine. You are not speaking as a beggar asking for scraps of attention. You are speaking as one who knows that the universe bends to truth. When you say, "I am guided," you speak not your own wish but a law already established. When you say, "Doors open before me," you are not predicting, you are commanding, and creation obeys. The psychology of powerful speech requires that you banish words of weakness. Cast out phrases like, "I hope," "I'll try," "I think so." These are the language of doubt. Authority speaks differently. Authority says, "I will," "I know," "it is done." Such words carry finality. They leave no room for hesitation, and so the universe aligns without delay. Remember too, that inner authority is born in stillness. A rushing mind cannot speak with clarity. Before you speak, settle yourself. Breathe. Anchor yourself in the truth you are about to declare. Then when you open your mouth, your words will come, not from fear, but from the deep reservoir of certainty within. And let us not forget, body and tone, your posture, your eyes, your gestures, all are vessels of authority. Speak with your whole being. If you declare abundance, let your body radiate it. If you speak of courage, let your stance embody it. Authority is not only heard, it is felt. Now hear me, you cannot speak with true authority if your words are lies to your own soul. If you declare what you do not believe, your voice betrays you. Authority comes when belief and speech are one. Therefore, work first on your inner conviction. Build faith through meditation, affirmation, and daily practice. As faith grows, authority flows naturally. Let us practice together. Declare these words with conviction. "And know who I am, and I speak with power. And thy words carry authority, because they are aligned with truth. And thy speak, doors open, paths clear, and hearts are moved." Say them again, not as idle phrases, but as living decrees. Feel them, believe them. Notice how your energy shifts as authority awakens within you. Some may ask, "But what if I feel small? What if I feel unworthy?" Beloved, authority does not come from ego. It comes from source. You are not speaking in your own strength alone. You are speaking as an instrument of divine law. When a judge enters a courtroom, his authority is not in his height or voice, but in the law he represents. Likewise, when you speak with faith, you represent divine truth. That is why your words carry weight. Consider the power of a mother's command. A child may resist, but when the mother speaks with calm authority, enough, the resistance ends, not because the mother is stronger, but because her tone leaves no room for debate. This is the authority you must cultivate in your speech. Another example, imagine the ocean. Waves crash loudly, but it is the steady tide that shapes the shore. Your authority does not need noise, it needs consistent truth consistently, and over time, even the hardest conditions will yield. Authority also demands discipline. You cannot speak with authority one moment and cancel it with weak words the next. A king does not declare a law in the morning and deny it by evening. Stand by your word. Let your speech be firm, unwavering. Consistency builds trust, both in others and within yourself. Beloved, when you speak with authority, you do not need to explain yourself endlessly. Authority is brief, clear, and final. Say it once with conviction, and let the universe carry it out. Repetition from fear weakens, but repetition from faith strengthens. Know the difference. And now, let us affirm together. and my words are decrees backed by divine authority. I speak with confidence, clarity, and conviction. I'm heard, respected, and obeyed, for my words align with truth. Take these words with you, not as empty affirmations, but as living laws. Practice them until they become natural, until authority flows from you as easily as breath. For when you master inner authority, your speech becomes irresistible. Opportunities open, people listen, doors unlock, and even the invisible forces of life rearrange themselves to honor your decree. So speak, beloved, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with the calm, steady, unshakable authority of one who knows, my words are law, and what I speak must come to pass.
3. Use silence as power. Beloved, let us now enter into one of the greatest secrets of powerful speech, the use of silence. Most people fear silence. They fill every pause with noise, chatter, explanations, and unnecessary words. But the wise know that silence is not weakness. It is strength. Silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. Silence is the invisible power that gives weight to every word you speak. Think for a moment. The space between notes makes the beauty of a song. If music were one long, endless sound, it would lose all meaning. It is the pauses, the rests, the silence that turn sound into melody. So it is with speech. Words without silence become noise, but words framed by silence become power. When you speak and then pause, your words echo in the hearts of those who hear you. The pause gives space for your message to land, for the seed to sink deep into the soil of the subconscious. The pause is the space where understanding is born. Many people believe they are heard by speaking more, by speaking faster, by filling the air with endless sentences. Yet this is the way of weakness. The true master speaks less, but every word carries the force of silence behind it. The room hangs on their speech, not because of what they say alone, but because of what they do not say. Let us illustrate. A nervous speaker rushes through his talk. He fears pauses because he thinks silence means failure. So he stumbles, filling the air with maybe, words without weight. But another speaker, calm and steady, speaks a sentence, then pauses. The pause is not emptiness. It is authority. It tells the audience, my words are so powerful that I do not need to rush. You will wait, and you will listen. Beloved, silence is magnetic. It draws attention. It creates anticipation. When you stop speaking, every ear strains to hear what you will say next. Even the restless mind becomes still in the presence of purposeful silence. Let us also understand silence in the spiritual sense. Silence is the womb of creation. Before the world was formed, there was silence. Out of that silence, the word was spoken, and life began. Silence is not absence. It is potential. It holds within it infinite possibilities waiting to be expressed through your speech. When you cultivate silence within yourself, your words carry even more force. A word spoken from a restless mind is scattered. A word spoken from inner stillness is concentrated, sharp, and irresistible. Just as a laser is stronger than a scattered beam, so are your words more powerful when they arise from silence. Now many fear silence in conversation. They feel they must explain themselves endlessly, defend their words, or rush to fill every gap. But the wise know, silence is a shield. Silence is a fortress. Silence often speaks louder than words. You do not need to defend truth. Truth defends itself. You do not need to argue endlessly. Silence will prove what words cannot. When insulted, silence can be your greatest reply. When provoked, silence can be your highest strength. For to answer anger with anger is to descend into weakness, but to answer anger with silence is to show mastery. The storm passes, and your authority remains untouched. Beloved, even in prayer and affirmation, silence is sacred. When you declare a word of power, I am guided. I am abundant. I am strong. Pause afterward. Rest in the silence.
That silence is the soil in which your declaration grows. Do not rush to speak again, for the seed needs stillness to take root. Let us practice this now. Speak aloud with me. I am guided. Pause. Feel the silence. I am abundant. Pause. Let the silence carry it deeper. I am strong. Pause. Allow the silence to make it real. Did you feel it? The silence between the words is not emptiness. It is the invisible energy that makes your words living truth. When you speak before others, use silence with wisdom. After a key phrase, pause. Let it linger. Let it echo. Trust the silence to work for you. Do not fear it, for silence is your ally. Think also of nature. The ocean is not always roaring. The forest is not always singing. There are moments of quiet, and in that quiet, there is majesty. The night sky does not shout. It shines in silence, and yet the silence of the stars speaks louder than the noise of cities. So too with your speech. Let your silence shine with power. Beloved, silence is not only outward, it is inward. Before you speak to others, cultivate inner silence. Quiet the storm of your thoughts. Still the restless chatter of the mind. When your inner world is calm, your outer words will carry clarity. When your inner world is noisy, your outer words will be scattered. Silence within is the source of authority without. This inner silence can be cultivated through daily practice. Spend moments each day in quiet reflection. Breathe, listen, say nothing. In this silence, you connect with the divine source. In this silence, you hear the voice of intuition. In this silence, your words are purified, so that when you do speak, they are charged with unseen power. Beloved, never underestimate the value of what is unsaid. Sometimes the pause between your words teaches more than the words themselves. Sometimes the silence after a truth spoken carries more weight than hours of explanation. Therefore, let your speech be like music, balanced with sound and silence, word and pause, expression and stillness. Now let us make affirmations together, honoring silence. I embrace silence as my strength. Pause. Feel the truth. My words are powerful because they are rooted in silence. Pause. Let the silence seal it. In silence I find wisdom. In silence I find power. Pause. Rest in the stillness. Beloved, the psychology of powerful speech is not only in the words you speak, but in the spaces between them. Those spaces are the invisible carriers of your authority. They are the unspoken truth, the unshakable strength, the quiet majesty that makes your words unforgettable. So learn this art. Speak, then pause. Declare, then wait. Let silence work for you, for in silence lies the hidden force that turns words into law and speech into destiny. Walk forth then, not as one who fears the quiet, but as one who commands it. Use silence as your companion, and your words will echo through eternity.
4. Speak to uplift, not to impress. Beloved, lean close, for this truth can transform the very way you use your voice. The purpose of powerful speech is not to show how clever you are, not to parade knowledge, not to win the admiration of others with polished phrases and grand words. No, the true purpose of speech is to lift hearts, to inspire souls, to awaken faith, and to spread light. To speak smart is not to impress, it is to bless. Many people misuse their gift of speech by turning it into a performance of ego. They decorate their words with heavy ornaments, hoping to win applause. But what is applause if hearts remain unchanged? What is recognition if lives remain untouched? The highest reward of speech is not claps of hands, but transformations of spirit. Think of this: people do not remember every word you say, but they never forget how you made them feel. If your speech stirs hope, if it kindles courage, if it awakens joy, then you have spoken powerfully. Words may fade, but the feeling they leave becomes eternal. Now, let me tell you this law: every word you speak either lifts or lowers,
builds or destroys, heals or wounds. There is no neutral speech. That is why you must ask yourself before speaking, will this word uplift? Will it inspire? Will it strengthen? If the answer is yes, then speak it boldly. If not, let silence guard your lips. The weak speaker chases admiration. He says, "Look at me, see how wise I am. Notice my brilliance." But the powerful speaker forgets himself. His heart is not on his own image, but on the good of others. He asks, "What can I say to bring light to this person's path? How can my words serve, heal, and encourage?" And because he forgets himself, he becomes unforgettable. Beloved, let me remind you, words are medicine. When spoken with love and faith, they can heal wounds no doctor can see. The discouraged soul may carry a hidden heaviness, but your word of encouragement can be the light that breaks the darkness. The weary heart may be sinking, but your word of affirmation can lift it to new heights. This is the true psychology of powerful speech, to use words not as weapons of ego, but as instruments of love. Now some may say, "But what if I lack wisdom? What if I do not know the right words?" Beloved, the right words are not found in grand philosophy. The right words are often the simplest. To say "I believe in you" can lift a soul more than 1,000 complicated sentences. To whisper, "You are not alone," can heal more deeply than endless explanations. Simplicity, when born of love, is the greatest wisdom. Let us practice together. Think of someone in your life who needs encouragement. Now declare aloud, as if speaking to them, "You are stronger than you know. The great things are waiting for you." That is the power of uplifting speech. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes, until every conversation becomes an opportunity to bless. Beloved, when you choose to uplift, you not only transform others, you transform yourself. For every word you speak echoes back into your own soul. When you bless another with words of faith, those same words strengthen your own spirit. When you declare encouragement over another, you are also watering the soil of your own destiny. Consider the farmer. He plants seeds not only for himself, but for the entire village. His harvest feeds many. Likewise, your words of blessing are seeds scattered widely, and their harvest comes back to you multiplied. You cannot speak life to others without life returning to you. You cannot uplift another without being lifted in the process. Now let us look deep. Speaking to uplift does not mean speaking falsely. It does not mean flattering with empty praise. It means seeing the truth of divine potential in others and calling it forth. It means speaking not to the weakness of a person, but to the strength within them. If you see fear, speak to the courage that lies hidden. If you see lack, speak to the abundance waiting to unfold. If you see doubt, speak to the faith buried within. Beloved, this is the law. What you call out in another, you awaken. If you call out their faults, you magnify them. If you call out their greatness, you awaken it. Choose wisely what you call forth with your speech. Even in your daily life, you will find endless opportunities to uplift. When the cashier looks weary, a simple, "Thank you, you're doing a wonderful job," can shift their whole day. When a friend speaks fear, respond not with agreement, but with faith. "I see you rising above this." When a child feels small, remind them, "You are capable of great things." These are not small acts. They are seeds that grow into forests of strength. Beloved, remember also to speak to uplift yourself. Too many wound their own souls with careless speech. They say, "I am not good enough. I always fail. Nothing works out for me." These words sink into the subconscious and build prisons of limitation. But you must speak to yourself as you would to a beloved friend. Tell yourself daily, "I am guided. I am equipped. I am worthy. I am powerful. I am loved." For if you cannot uplift yourself with your own words, how will you uplift others? Begin first with your own soul. Encourage yourself until your heart overflows, and then let that overflow spill into the lives of others. Now, beloved, let us speak affirmations together. Every conversation I have is filled with light and encouragement. And hear this truth:
The one who speaks to impress may win admiration for a moment, but the one who speaks to uplift wins hearts forever. People may forget your clever words, but they will never forget how your words made them believe in themselves. Beloved, walk forth from this moment with a new mission. Let your speech be a fountain of encouragement. Wherever you go, let your words refresh the weary, strengthen the weak, and awaken the dormant greatness in others. For when you speak to uplift, you become a true master of the psychology of powerful speech. And remember this law: what you give with your words, you receive multiplied. As you lift others, so you too shall be lifted. As you bless, so you too shall be blessed. As you encourage, so you too shall find doors of opportunity opening before you. Speak then, not to impress, but to uplift. For in uplifting others, you rise higher yourself.
Master the art of simple language. Beloved, listen well. There is divine strength in simplicity. Words do not need to be complicated to carry power. In truth, the most powerful words are the simplest, the most direct, the most pure. Great wisdom is always clothed in clarity. The moment you begin to wrap your speech in endless ornaments, you risk losing its essence. Think of water. Water is clear, transparent, and simple. Yet it sustains all life, carves valleys, shapes mountains, and carries ships across oceans. It does not need to be colored or perfumed to do its work. So it is with language. Words, when plain and true, carry more weight than the most elaborate speeches. The one who speaks in circles may seem clever, but the one who speaks plainly is remembered. Children understand simple words. The humble understand simple words. The wise understand simple words. Simplicity speaks to all. Beloved, the psychology of powerful speech rests on this truth. If you want to touch the heart, speak in a way that the heart understands. Grand phrases may dazzle the mind for a moment, but plain truth reaches the soul. When you say, "You are loved," the soul understands. When you say, "You are free," the soul rejoices. No dictionary is needed, no explanation required. The truth lands instantly. Why then do so many complicate their speech? Because the ego desires to impress. The ego fears that plain words will not appear intelligent enough. But the spirit has no such fear. The spirit knows that simplicity is majesty. The spirit knows that truth needs no decoration. Consider the greatest teachings given to mankind. They are always simple. Love one another. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Ask and it shall be given. Could anything be more direct? Could anything be more plain? And yet these words have outlived centuries, guided nations, and transformed countless souls. Why? Because simplicity carries eternal power. Beloved, to master simple language is to master universality. You make your words available to all. You do not shut the door with heavy phrases and intellectual pride. You open the door so that anyone who hears may enter into truth. Now do not mistake simplicity for weakness. Simple words can pierce like swords. They can shake mountains. They can open doors no complicated speech ever could. When you stand before life's challenges and declare, "I can," "I will," "I am," those three simple words carry enough force to move heaven and earth. But when you drown your spirit in endless explanations, perhaps if conditions allow, maybe I'll try, possibly I'll achieve something, the force is lost. The seed of power is buried under too much soil. The plant never breaks through. Beloved, let us learn the art of simple declarations. Repeat with me now. Death. I am strong. I am guided. I am prosperous. They go straight to the subconscious, straight to the universe, straight to the truth of your being. When you speak to others, practice the same art. Do not bury your encouragement under long speeches. If someone is weary, simply say, "You can do this. I believe in you." That single sentence may carry more weight than hours of explanation. If someone feels lost, a simple "You are not alone" can bring light to their heart. Beloved, remember this law. People rarely remember every word you speak, but they will remember a single phrase that struck like lightning. That phrase is often simple. You are worthy. You matter. It is possible. Simple words, unforgettable impact. Let us consider nature again. The oak tree grows tall and strong, but it began as a small, simple seed. A river stretches wide across the land, but it began as a single drop of water. So too your words, small, simple, but able to shape destiny. Now let us go deep. The subconscious mind, which creates your reality, does not respond to complicated reasoning. It responds to simple command. If you say, I am abundantly prosperous, because the conditions of the market and the flow of opportunity allow me access to resources, the subconscious does not know how to act. But if you say, I am wealthy, the subconscious hears and obeys. This is why affirmations must be simple. This is why prayers must be simple. This is why declarations must be simple. Complexity confuses, simplicity commands. Beloved, to speak simply is also to speak truthfully. Falsehood often hides in complexity. Truth stands in clarity. Lies require explanation, but truth requires only declaration. The moment you hear a speech too tangled, too decorated, too heavy, you may suspect that truth has been lost. But when you hear a clear, simple phrase, your soul knows it is true. Therefore, in your daily life, choose clarity over complexity. Let your yes be yes, and your no be no. Say what you mean what you say, and let your words shine like a clear lamp in the dark. And let us practice affirmations of simplicity. Simplicity. My words are clear, direct, and powerful. I speak simply, and my speech touches heart. Simplicity is my strength, and clarity is my crown. Beloved, when you live by this law, you will discover a new freedom. You will no longer feel the need to impress, to decorate, to over-explain. You will rest in the truth that your simple, clear words carry divine power. So I say to you, speak as the rivers flow, clear, direct, unstoppable. Speak as the sun shines, simple, constant, universal. Speak as the truth itself, plain, unshakable, eternal. For this is the art of powerful speech, simplicity. Beloved, simplicity in speech is not only wisdom, it is mastery. And when you master it, your words will travel far, touch many, and echo in eternity.
6. Align your words with energy and emotion. Beloved, let us rise higher. For it is not enough to speak with clarity, nor even with simplicity alone. Your words are living vessels, and they must be filled with life force, with energy, with emotion. Without this spark, your speech is like a shell without a pearl, a body without breath. You see, words are sound, and sound is vibration. Every vibration carries energy. Some words, spoken without life, fall flat. Others, spoken with conviction, ignite the atmosphere, pierce through doubt, and awaken the slumbering heart. It is the same word, but different energy. A person may say, I believe in myself, in a whisper of doubt, and it carries no power. Another may say, I believe in myself, with fire, with certainty, with passion, and mountains tremble before them. Do you see the difference, beloved? The words are identical, but the energy makes them worlds apart. It is the vibration that creates. It is the emotion that commands. The subconscious, the universe, and even the hearts of those who hear you. None respond to hollow words. They respond to the energy behind the words. Beloved, when you align your words with emotion, you are no longer speaking only with your mouth. You are speaking with your heart, with your spirit, with the entire force of your being. Your tone, your rhythm, your passion, these become the wings that carry your words into the unseen, where creation begins. Consider the great leaders of history. Did they not move nations with words? But what made their words unforgettable? Not the length, not the grammar, not the structure. It was the energy. Their words were charged with fire, with belief, with unshakable faith. They spoke from the depths of conviction, and their words lit the world. Now understand this divine law. You cannot pour into your words what you do not feel. You cannot speak faith if your heart is filled with doubt. You cannot speak power if your spirit trembles with fear. You cannot speak abundance while you secretly believe in lack, for your words will betray you. They will carry the vibration of your inner state. Therefore, before you speak, align yourself inwardly. Feel the truth of what you declare. Embody the energy of what you affirm.
If you say, I am prosperous, let prosperity fill your chest. Let gratitude shine through your eyes. Let the energy of wealth flow in your tone. If you say, I am loved, let warmth rise in your heart. Let gentleness soften your voice. Let the joy of being cherished color your words. Beloved, words without emotion are like arrows without tips. They may be released, but they do not pierce. Words with emotion are like flaming arrows. They strike, they penetrate, they burn away resistance. Think of a song. A song is nothing but words placed upon sound. But why does a song move you to tears or lift you to joy? Because of the emotion poured into it. A simple phrase, sung with deep feeling, can carry more power than 1,000 empty speeches. So it is with your words. Speak as though you are singing to life itself. Pour into your speech the fullness of your emotion. Speak not only to be heard but to be felt. Speak not only to inform but to transform. Let us practice together. Repeat after me, but not with flatness. Repeat with fire. I am powerful. Say it until your spine straightens. I am unstoppable. Say it until your spirit rises. I am blessed beyond measure. Say it until gratitude overflows. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel how the words, when charged with emotion, awaken something within you? That is the psychology of powerful speech. That is the secret of commanding reality. Beloved, let us go even deeper. Energy is contagious. When you speak with power, you do not only affect yourself, you affect all who hear you. Your vibration becomes theirs. Your emotion transfers to them. Speak fear, and fear spreads. Speak faith, and faith spreads. Speak joy, and joy spreads. A teacher who lectures without passion may put a classroom to sleep, but a teacher who speaks with energy awakens curiosity, ignites excitement, and leaves an impression that lasts for years. A leader who speaks without conviction leaves their people uncertain, but a leader who speaks with energy rallies armies, builds movements, and changes nations. Beloved, this is no accident, it is law. The energy you pour into your words is multiplied and reflected back to you with lifelessness, and life reflects lifelessness. Speak with passion, and passion returns. Speak with certainty, and certainty manifests. Now I ask you, how have you been speaking into your life? With what energy do you declare your future? Do you say, I guess I'll try, with a sigh of weakness? Or do you declare, I will achieve, with fire in your voice? The difference is destiny itself. You are the conductor of your inner orchestra. Your words are the notes, your emotions the music. Together they create the symphony that the universe responds to, and the universe responds not to empty notes, but to the harmony of sound and feeling united. Beloved, practice this daily, before important conversations, before affirmations, even before prayer. Pause, align yourself, feel the truth of what you are about to say. Let your body, your tone, your spirit unite with your words. Then speak. You will notice doors opening, hearts softening, circumstances shifting. Let us affirm together now. Take-o, my words are filled with divine energy. Say, my speech carries power because my heart fuels my voice. I align my words with my spirit, and I create miracles. Yes, beloved. That is how you master the energy of words. That is how you transform speech into creation. Do not be content with words alone. Breathe life into them. Clothe them in passion. Wrap them in conviction. Release them with faith. For when words and energy are one, you are no longer merely speaking. You are declaring, you are commanding, you are creating, and the universe has no choice but to obey. Beloved, this is the great secret. Words are vessels. Energy is the power. Emotion is the key. Together they move mountains. They open seas. They bring heaven to earth. And I tell you truly, when your words carry energy, they do not fade when the sound ends. They echo in the unseen.
They vibrate in the hearts of men. They ripple through the universe, shaping the very fabric of your reality. So speak with energy, speak with fire, speak with love, speak with faith, for this is the art of speaking smart, and this is the law of powerful speech. 7. Master the tone and rhythm of your words. Beloved, let us ascend higher into the mystery of powerful speech. You have seen how words are seeds, how simplicity strengthens, how silence prepares, and how energy fills your declarations with life. Now we must examine the form in which these words are carried, the tone, the rhythm, the cadence. For words are not only what you say, but how you say them. The same phrase uttered with one tone may heal with another tone, it may wound. Spoken with one rhythm, it may inspire. Spoken with another, it may lull to sleep. Tone and rhythm are the wings of your speech. Without them, your words cannot fly. Beloved, tone is the spirit in your voice. It reveals what lies beneath the word. A tone of fear betrays doubt, even when the lips say, "I am confident." A tone of joy illuminates even the simplest greeting, "Good morning." A tone of authority moves men to action, even when the words are few. And rhythm. A rhythm is the heartbeat of your words. Too fast, and your listener cannot follow. Too slow, and they drift away. But when you master rhythm, your speech becomes music. You draw others in, you hold their attention, you carry them upon waves of sound, until they arrive at the shore of understanding. Beloved, understand this. Life itself is rhythm. The sun rises and sets. The tides flow in and out. The heart beats. The breath flows. The seasons turn. All of creation is bound in rhythm. And so it is with speech. When your words flow in rhythm, they harmonize with the rhythm of life, and they are received with ease. Now consider, a monotone voice is like stagnant water. It does not refresh. It does not move. It does not inspire. But a voice that rises and falls, that flows like a river, that pauses and surges, such a voice captivates. It awakens. It stirs the heart. Beloved, think of the poets and prophets. Their words were not dry instruction. They were melody, they were rhythm, they were fire. That is why their words live on. They spoke not only to the mind, but to the spirit. They clothed wisdom in rhythm, they clothed truth in tone, and their words became unforgettable. Let me show you a divine principle. When you master tone and rhythm, you speak directly to the subconscious mind. The conscious mind may debate, may resist, may argue, but the subconscious listens to rhythm, to tone, to repetition. That is why lullabies calm a child. That is why chants carry power. That is why affirmations spoken rhythmically sink deep into the soul. Beloved, if you say "I am powerful" once, in flat tone, your subconscious may not listen. But if you declare "I am powerful, I am powerful, I am powerful," in rising rhythm, in growing conviction, your subconscious accepts it, your spirit rises to it, and your reality conforms to it. Tone and rhythm unlock doors the intellect cannot. They bypass logic and awaken faith. That is why the great teachers of wisdom often repeated phrases, often used rhythm, often allowed their voices to rise and fall, like waves. They knew the secret. Speech is not information alone. It is vibration, it is music, it is life. Now let us practice. Speak aloud these words with me, but not in monotone. Say them with rising power. I am rising higher. Begin low, end higher. I am walking in strength. Step each word with steady rhythm. I am victorious now. Let your voice explode on the final word. Do you feel how tone and rhythm give life to simple words? That, beloved, is the psychology of powerful speech. Let us go deep. Tone is not only volume, it is energy expressed through sound. A whisper can be more powerful than a shout, if it carries intensity. A pause can be louder than words,
if it carries presence. Do not think that power always means loudness. Power is alignment, tone, rhythm, and intent as one. Consider the master orator. At times they speak swiftly, with passion, carrying their audience upon waves of urgency. At other times, they slow down, drop their voice, and the room leans in to catch every word. This is mastery. This is the use of rhythm and tone as instruments of the spirit.
Beloved, speech without rhythm is noise, but speech with rhythm becomes song, and song carries what plain speech cannot. That is why the ancients sang their prayers, why they chanted their truths, why they recited in rhythm. They knew rhythm imprints the soul. You must learn this also. Do not speak hurriedly, rushing through your words as though they are unimportant. Do not speak without pause, as though silence has no place. Speak as one who knows each word is a seed, each pause is fertile soil, each tone is sunlight, each rhythm is rain. Together they make the harvest. Let us affirm together, with rhythm. I speak with power. Pause, my words create worlds. I speak with rhythm. Pause and life flows with me. I speak with tone. Pause and hearts are moved. Yes, beloved. Feel how rhythm commands attention. Feel how tone carries authority. This is not technique alone. It is spiritual law. Now remember, your tone reveals your inner state. If you wish to speak with strength, strengthen your spirit. If you wish to speak with joy, fill your heart with joy. If you wish to speak with peace, anchor yourself in peace, for your tone will betray you. Otherwise, the voice cannot hide what the spirit feels. So guard your heart, for from it flows the tone of your words. Guard your spirit, for from it flows the rhythm of your speech. Align yourself inwardly, and your outward voice will carry power beyond measure. Beloved, let this truth settle within you. Rhythm and tone are not ornaments. They are essentials. Without them, your words fall flat. With them, your words soar. Without them, you are merely heard. With them, you are remembered. The one who speaks with tone and rhythm becomes unforgettable. Their words echo in the minds of listeners long after the sound has faded. Why? Because rhythm imprints memory, and tone carries emotion. Together, they etch truth into the heart. Beloved, you are called not only to speak smart, but to speak with divine artistry. Do not despise rhythm. Do not neglect tone, for they are the bridge between your words and the soul of another. Let us seal this step with a declaration. Beloved, this is step 7, the mastery of tone and rhythm. Speak with life, with music, with cadence, and your words will never die. They will echo, they will uplift, they will create. For tone is the spirit, and rhythm is the heartbeat of powerful speech.
8. The sacred power of pause and silence. Beloved, we have walked together through the gates of words, tone, rhythm, and energy. Now we must step into the quiet temple that holds as much power as the spoken word, the temple of silence. For pause and silence are not emptiness, as many believe. They are fullness. They are divine punctuation. They are the golden spaces in which words are given room to live. Consider this. A song without rests is noise. A sentence without spaces is confusion. A painting without background is chaos. And so it is with speech. Without pause, your words lose their weight. Without silence, your voice has no contrast. Without rest, your message drowns itself. Beloved, pause is not weakness, it is mastery. The one who pauses is the one in control. The one who dares to embrace silence is the one who commands the room. For the crowd expects endless sound. They expect constant filling of the air. But when you pause, when you let silence hang, you awaken their attention. You say without words, listen, something important lives here. There is a spiritual law hidden in silence. It is this: the void gives meaning to the word, just as night gives meaning to the day. Just as the valley gives meaning to the mountain, so silence gives meaning to speech. A word followed by pause is a word magnified. A word rushed into another word is a word forgotten. Beloved, think of the sacred texts, the timeless declarations of truth. Often they are brief, often they are simple. But what makes them endure is not only what is written, but the space given around the word. The silence that follows them allows the truth to sink, to echo, to engrave itself into the soul. So too with you, if you desire to speak smart, if you desire to speak with divine power, you must learn to marry your words to silence. You must allow pause to breathe through your speech. You must learn to honor the invisible spaces, for they carry as much influence as the visible words. Beloved, imagine a speaker who rushes, who pours out words like a river in flood, unending, relentless, without pause. What happens? The listeners drown. They cannot absorb. They cannot reflect. They cannot receive. But imagine instead a speaker who releases words like pearls, one by one, placing them gently upon the silence, allowing each to gleam before the next appears. Such speech captivates. Such speech is remembered. Such speech is powerful. Now let us look at the psychology of silence. The human mind does not like gaps. When you pause, your listener leans in to fill the gap. They become active participants in your speech. They anticipate your next word. They give more attention. They attach more weight. Thus, silence is not empty. It is active. It makes your audience work with you. It binds them to your message. Beloved, understand this. Silence after a strong word allows that word to echo in the heart. Silence before a revelation builds expectation. Silence in the middle of passion shocks the mind into stillness. In every case, silence multiplies power. Do not fear silence. Weak speakers fear it, thinking they must constantly talk to hold attention. But masters embrace it, knowing silence is their ally. Weak speakers fill every space with noise. Masters fill every space with presence. And presence, beloved, is stronger than words. When you pause but remain present, your silence speaks louder than sound. It tells the audience, I am here. I am unshaken. I do not rush. I command time. Such silence is not emptiness. It is majesty. Beloved, think of the sculptor. They do not carve endlessly, without pause. They carve, then step back. They observe. They let the form reveal itself. Then they carve again. That pause is what guides the art. So too with speech. Without pause, your words have no form. With pause, your message takes shape. Let us practice together. Speak aloud. I am powerful. Pause. Let silence magnify it. I create with words. Pause. Feel the echo. My silence carries presence. Pause. Let the room absorb it. Do you feel it, beloved? Do you sense how the silence after the word gives it more strength? This is the art of pause. Now let us speak of silence, not only outward, but inward, for inner silence is the foundation of outer speech. If your mind is noisy, if your spirit is restless, your words will stumble, your tone will shake, your rhythm will falter. But if your mind is calm, if your heart is quiet, if your spirit is centered, your words will flow with clarity, your tone will hold authority, your pauses will radiate presence. Beloved, cultivate inner silence, through stillness, through meditation, through prayer. Let your thoughts quiet. Let your spirit rest. Let your heart settle. From such silence springs forth speech that is sharp, clear, and unstoppable. For only the one who has mastered silence within can wield silence without. Now hear this divine paradox. Silence is not the opposite of speech. It is part of speech. Just as darkness is part of creation, just as rest is part of music, so silence is part of powerful speaking. It is not absence. It is presence. It is not weakness. It is strength. When you pause before your words, you declare, I am not rushed. I am not desperate. I own time. When you pause after your words, you declare, what I spoke is worth remembering. It deserves space. Beloved, do not be afraid of the gaze of silence. When you stand before others, and the room falls quiet, and every eye looks to you, embrace it. Breathe it in. It is in that silence that authority is tested. It is in that silence that presence is born. If you can hold silence without fear, you can hold any room, anywhere. Let us affirm together, I honor silence as my partner in speech. I pause with confidence, knowing silence magnifies my words. I carry inner silence, and my presence speaks louder than noise. Yes, beloved, let these affirmations root in your spirit. Let them become your practice. For silence is not your enemy. Silence is your crown. Remember, beloved, a wise speaker does not rush to fill silence. They use it. They command it. They respect it. The one who fills every space is a servant of words. The one who commands silence is a master of speech. So go forth and do not fear to pause. Do not fear silence. Let it become your ally, your power, your signature. For silence is divine. It is the womb of creation. It is the canvas upon which your words are painted. Without it, nothing stands out. With it, everything shines. Beloved, this is step 8, the sacred power of pause and silence. Speak yes, but also pause. Declare yes, but also rest. For in silence your words are crowned with power. In silence your presence is revealed. In silence you become unforgettable.
9.
The psychology of listening deeply. Beloved, today we walk into one of the most overlooked, yet most powerful treasures in the art of speech, the sacred gift of listening. Many crave to speak, many desire to be heard, but few cultivate the divine skill of hearing. And yet, the one who listens holds the true key to influence, to wisdom, and to mastery of communication. Hear this truth. Your ability to listen determines your ability to speak powerfully. For how can one touch hearts without first understanding them? How can one answer without first receiving? How can one influence without first perceiving the silent currents of another's soul? Beloved, listening is not the absence of speaking. It is an active force. It is not weakness, it is strength. When you listen with the fullness of your being, you give the greatest honor to another. You say without words, you are seen, you are valued, you are worthy of my attention. And this, beloved, is one of the deepest desires of every human soul, to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. When you fulfill this desire by listening deeply, you open doors no words alone could ever open. People lower their walls, they lean closer, they trust you, they are ready to receive from you, because they first felt received by you. Now, let us speak of the psychology behind listening. The human heart knows the difference between a distracted ear and a devoted one. If you nod while your mind wanders, your presence is false. If you wait only for your turn to speak, you are not listening, you are rehearsing. But when your attention is anchored, when your eyes are steady, when your silence is alive with presence, then the other feels it. They feel your soul leaning toward them. And this, beloved, is where power begins. For true listening is not done with the ears alone. It is done with the heart, the eyes, the spirit. You listen to the tone, to the rhythm, to the unspoken. You listen between the lines. You hear not only the words, but the meaning behind them. You notice the tremor in the voice, the shift in the breath, the flicker in the gaze. And in these details, you gather more wisdom than any surface word could carry. Beloved, when you listen this way, you gain knowledge, and knowledge makes your speech wise. You do not guess what to say, you know. You do not throw words blindly, you release them with precision. You become like the healer who diagnoses before prescribing. You speak not from assumption, but from divine discernment. And this is why the greatest speakers are also the greatest listeners. They observe their audience, they feel the energy in the room, they adjust their words, their tone, their rhythm, because they are attuned. They do not simply speak to people, they speak with people. And that difference, beloved, is everything. Now hear this law. To be listened to, you must first listen. Influence is reciprocal. If you desire others to give you their full attention, you must give them yours. If you desire your words to matter, you must first make their words matter. What you sow in listening, you reap in being heard. Beloved, think of the river. It flows endlessly, but it also receives endlessly from streams, from rain, from mountains. If the river refused to receive, it would dry out. So too with you. If you only pour words but never receive through listening, your speech becomes dry, repetitive, shallow. But if you listen, if you receive, you are constantly replenished, and your words are always fresh, always alive, always relevant. Now let us look at listening as a spiritual act. When you listen, you humble the self. You step back and make space for another soul to express. You say, in this moment, it is not about me, it is about you. And in that humility lies greatness. For true kings and queens are not those who demand constant attention, but those who know how to give it. Beloved, I tell you this, to listen is to love, for love is attention, love is presence, love is the willingness to place another before yourself, even for a moment. When you listen with love, your words later will carry love, and love, beloved, is the most persuasive force in existence. Now let us practice. The next time you speak with someone, still your mind. Do not rush to answer. Do not interrupt. Do not plan your reply while they are speaking. Instead, breathe. Look into their eyes. Absorb their words. Hear what they say. Hear what they do not say. And when they finish, pause. Let them feel that their words were received. Only then, do you see, beloved, how different this is from ordinary conversation? Ordinary conversation is a battle of voices, each one trying to outspeak the other. But divine conversation is a dance of listening and speaking, receiving and giving, silence and sound. Now hear this, the one who listens rules the conversation. This may surprise you, but it is true, for the speaker may feel powerful, pouring out words, but the listener holds the frame, the space, the power of direction. The listener chooses what to absorb, what to respond to, what to magnify. The listener controls the flow, silently, and often the listener walks away with more influence than the one who spoke. Beloved, if you wish to speak smart, begin by listening smart. Let your ears be sharp, your heart open, your spirit still. Collect the hidden treasures in the words of others, for when you listen well, you will never lack the right words to say. The universe will place them upon your tongue at the perfect time. Let us affirm together, I am a master listener, and through listening I gain wisdom. The more I listen, the more my words carry power. Beloved, imagine a world where people truly listen to one another. Wars would end, misunderstandings would dissolve, hearts would heal, for most battles are not born of truth, but of not being heard. And when someone feels truly heard, they no longer fight, they soften, they open, they receive. So too with you. If you listen, you disarm. If you listen, you heal. If you listen, you gain influence. And your words, when finally spoken, will land not on hardened ground, but on soil already tilled and ready for seed. Beloved, let us end this step with a divine secret. Listening is not passive, it is creation. Every time you listen, you are shaping the unseen. You are creating bridges, building trust, planting seeds, and when the time comes to speak, your words will bloom from that fertile ground. So listen deeply, listen fully, listen with love, for listening is the crown jewel of speaking smart. It is the quiet force behind every powerful voice. It is the hidden key to influence, wisdom, and divine communication. This, beloved, is step 9, the psychology of listening deeply. Learn to listen, and the world will listen to you. 10. Command your words as instruments of divine authority. Beloved, we have walked together through the sacred path of speech. We began with the awareness of your voice, moved through clarity and simplicity, infused energy and emotion, mastered tone and rhythm, honored silence, and learned the divine art of listening. Now we arrive at the pinnacle of our journey, the moment when your words become instruments of divine authority. Understand this. Speech is not mere sound. It is not merely a vehicle for information. Your words are living forces. They carry energy. They carry intention. They carry the power to shape reality itself. And when you speak with awareness, with alignment, with faith, your words command. They command the attention of men, the cooperation of circumstances, and even the response of the universe. Beloved, the first law of commanding words is this. Speak as though what you declare is already true. The universe does not respond to uncertainty. It does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to faith expressed with conviction. Say not, I hope I succeed. Say, I am successful. I am prosperous. I am powerful. Declare it not as a hope, but as a certainty. Feel it, believe it, and speak it with authority. Every word you release is a seed, and a seed once sown must be nurtured with conviction. If you speak with doubt, the seed will wither. If you speak with fear, the seed will die. But if you speak with unwavering faith, the seed will grow, the fruit will ripen, and abundance will manifest. Beloved, the second law is this. Align your words with divine principles. Speak truth. Speak love. Speak light. When your words are aligned with the eternal laws of prosperity, health, joy, and divine order, they cannot fail. Words spoken in alignment with divine law carry a force far greater than human effort. They are obeyed by the universe. Consider the great prophets, the masters, the teachers of old. Did they argue with the world? Did they beg for their words to be heard? No. They spoke as instruments of divine authority, and the world trembled, hearts opened, and lives were transformed. Their words were not theirs. They were channeled through them, aligned with the universal will. Beloved, this is your inheritance as well. You are made to speak with authority. You are made to shape reality with your declarations. You are made to influence, to guide, to uplift, and to create. But to do this, you must step fully into the presence of your own voice. You must claim it as sacred. You must wield it with intention and courage. Now let us examine the third law. Your words must be consistent with your inner state. A word spoken in contradiction to your belief has no power. The lips may say one thing, but the heart and spirit carry another. Such words are hollow, empty, ineffective. To command reality, your inner world and your outer speech must align perfectly. Speak from the place of certainty within, and the world will obey. Beloved, this alignment is the secret of miracles. When your soul believes fully in abundance, health, love, or success, and your words declare it, without hesitation, the invisible forces respond. Doors open, circumstances shift, people align, opportunities manifest. This is not magic. It is law. The law of spoken faith, the law of commanded words. Now let us discuss the fourth law. Words spoken with gratitude amplify power. Never underestimate the force of a grateful declaration. When you say, I am grateful for the abundance flowing into my life, you signal to the universe that you are in harmony with the provision already present. Gratitude multiplies results. It opens channels. It makes your speech irresistible to unseen forces. Beloved, command with joy, command with faith, command with love, and always command with gratitude. Never curse your words with complaint, doubt, or fear. Never allow negativity to sully your speech. The one who curses often finds life obstructed. The one who blesses and declares gratitude often finds life flowing like a mighty river. Let us practice a divine declaration together. I command prosperity, health, love, and joy into my life, and I receive them now with gratitude. Beloved, feel the weight, the authority, the energy behind these words. Speak them with every fiber of your being. Let your tone carry certainty. Let your rhythm carry life. Let your pause allow the power to settle. Speak as one who holds the keys of creation, The fifth law of commanding speech is to act in harmony with your words. Do not speak words of power and then act contrary. The universe notices, your subconscious notices, the people around you notice. Alignment between word, action, and belief is non-negotiable. Speak powerfully, act consistently, and the world rearranges itself to accommodate your command. Beloved, consider the art of repetition. A single declaration is powerful, but repeated with faith and emotion, it becomes unstoppable. Speak your affirmations daily. Speak them in the morning, in the evening, in moments of doubt. Let them echo in your subconscious. Let them reverberate through your surroundings. Let them shape the unseen fabric of your reality. Remember this, your words once spoken do not return void. They act as agents of creation, whether they bless or curse, uplift or diminish, attract or repel. The choice is yours. Speak with divine authority, and your life will transform accordingly. Speak with hesitation, and your efforts will scatter like chaff in the wind. Beloved, let us now consider the audience of your life. You are surrounded not only by people but by circumstances, opportunities, and even unseen forces. Your words speak to all of these. Each declaration, each affirmation, each blessing carries influence far beyond what the eyes can see. Speak with intention. Speak as a master. Speak as one who knows the sacred power of speech. Let us affirm again. Tep, my words are instruments of divine authority. Tep, I command with clarity, power, and love. I am a master of speech, and my words shape reality. Beloved, the final truth is this: to command your words is to command your life. What you speak daily, what you think, what you affirm, becomes your destiny. Speak with intention. Speak with courage. Speak with faith. Speak with love. Speak with gratitude. And watch as your words carve your future, uplift your spirit, and bless the lives of all who hear you. Now stand tall. Feel the power in your chest, the authority in your voice, the clarity in your mind. Every word you speak from this moment is a declaration. Every pause is a statement. Every tone is a command. You are no longer ordinary. You are a master of speech, a channel of divine authority, a creator in your own right. Beloved, this is the culmination of our journey, the mastery of speech as an instrument of divine power. Go forth and speak smart, speak simple, speak energized, speak rhythmically, speak with silence, speak with listening, and now speak with authority. Your words are your kingdom. Your words are your power. Your words are your legacy. And so it is written in the law of life: speak with faith, act with alignment, and all things shall be added unto you.